beautiful flower, but you know what? Even more than that here, called a missing veteran park. It's called a veteran place, war vets and stuff. Also, many other little things happen weekend. Ain't that nice? You know? Oh. Yeah, back then they're making stuff in factories. Back then it showed that we really had a labor force back in those days, you know? Like a good labor force. The good thing all this is people made money. Big bucks. Victory bonds down, that's another thing. Oh, all kind of antique and British stuff too. Well, anyway, over this side, you know, there's visit Veteran Park in Hamilton, the community here. So, some of these people went off to war, Second World War, but never ever came home. They buried in Flanders Field with Poppy Bloom. Some made it, some didn't. And the beautiful green grass to show honor other nice people. And these are some people went away on a beautiful train back then, top of the line back in those days, not today it wouldn't be. You know what? They never came back. Some people went on boats, never came back. And you know what? Many of them ended up buried in Flanders Fields, of course. I think in Flanders Field with Poppy's Bloom. And that happened too. I didn't remember it. Not only was the homecoming, those who made it to come home, but you know what? Then they have problems, psychological, deep problems. Some will have that. But the weird thing is, you look at all these things here, each one explains the meanings behind war and peace here. And for these people doing what they are doing here, you know, we would not have I would not be walking down, I'd be standing in Veteran Park in Hamilton, Canada today. Yeah, look at that. Bronze Major would not be doing this. So think about it. This is like, you know, this is part of our history, Canadian history just as much as British history in many ways, Scottish history as well. This here, the cenotaph, they put these little things down here to stop people from skateboarding on it. They add all these nice sayings and stuff. And this, remember, this here is, all this land is not owned by the city of Hamilton. It is owned by the federal government, the Department of Defense and National Security of Canada own this property here. It's like a nicely kept because this is part of Canadian federal government here. And War Monument is like here. These are beautiful Canadian flags, British flags there too, and the Scottish one in there I noticed too. Well, the British one. And over here, there are many things that, you know, back then we had a downtown Hamilton, not really all cracked up to be. Remembering the day, you know, more people should remember. More people remember now. I just think about Canada sent a whole lot of people over there. Now this interesting picture right here. See there? These are many soldiers died overseas. They just went there, fight a war, and then this is Corporal Sam Cirillo, most recent one, Catchy War. Well, down here, cemetery, all these are war vets. And, you know, sometimes that breaks my heart hearing that, but it's a cost of war. See, the war ain't cheap. The war not cheap. We got our UN keeper doing some work. Remember, war not cheap. Ain't a cheap thing to think about. War here is not cheap. It's very expensive thing. It's kind of thing that people get killed. Now this here is our Canadian cadets, and below here, this is Westminster Abbey, England. That is when Queen came to Colosseum. The Royal Commitment Cops in Hamilton. Now, into a little piece of history there. Now, this is downtown Hamilton. If you look here, and look at these buildings here, behind you, If you're standing here where the cenotaph is, and look at these buildings here, and they pick them out, can look over here, and they mechanize these buildings here from this. I can mechanize a few of them. I could say that building right there would be this one here. Is a cash money store. Think about it. Now, just out of that, now, Canada is at a, even Ottawa today, Parliament Bill, we have a soldier, they stand up there, and they don't frickin' want to, but this is when the cenotaph came, and he revealed it for the first time. Unbelievable, isn't it? Think about it. This is really, think about history. Right here, my own backyard history here, as well as history in here as well. Many of this honor, but Canada Day is about remembering too. Not just about that war is expensive, This is Visit Veteran Park, and it's a free attraction. It don't cost you money, and it's beautiful. We walk through it, and it commemorates the freedom that we had. And nobody ever remembered this. What we have, no fucking freedom. We'll have no freedom in Canada. Okay, you know what? You'd be singing the Russian anthem, and Russia would be running a country if we weren't for our soldiers fighting. Think about that. That's exactly what happened. Now, here, some of you might remember this here, and this here you got. This picture here I'm looking at used to be an underground bathroom. It used to be right in here where I'm standing a long time. No longer there. They're long gone. My history. And that building would have been the old, where the Kretskys is today now. Go to think about it. And they had like an event for the bathrooms there, of course. But it's very amazing. The old rail trolleys. This is actually in a museum today. This is actually pretty interesting. Look at Hamilton. Back then we had a downtown. We had something that we know in this beautiful Veteran Park. This is free. It doesn't cost you anything to remember. But here are peacekeepers, quote, and they keep the peace. But also too, they have to carry a gun because sometimes get in a situation too. You know what? I tell you honest, war ain't cheap. The war costs our human casualties, civilian casualties to war. Human casualties to war. The middle go around to Syria, you got civilian casualties that had the free war come here, live with us, and which they good they did. Now, because still that's called human casualties. Doesn't matter where you are, the human casualty. Now, these things here, look, oh my God. Look at the old, you recognize these? This is a very old building. Almost like it's a time frame different. But this sort of I'm going to leave here, this moment here. This concludes this video about the Veteran Park here in Hamilton.